Jai Hind everyone. My name is Ankur Walia and I welcome you to another power-packed episode of the C-Suite Club. Joining me today is retired Major Rupam Sharma and Nandita Singh. Jai Hind ma'am.
Jai Hind. Jai Hind, Uncle.
I am honored to have you with me on this podcast today because this podcast is going to talk about your book. It's going to talk about, the life of an army wives,
Yes.
you being serving as a major as well. So thank you so much for coming on board with me here.
Thank you so much for having us
Thank you.
over.
So, ma'am, tell me about yourself. Starting with you, Rupa, ma'am.
Thank you, Uncle, for giving us the opportunity, and we are equally honored. It is wonderful to speak about your own traditions and the legacy which one carries. I've served in the Indian Army, the Corps of Army Air Defense for 10 years, and post-retirement, I have been positively contributing and ensuring that the spirit of a military wife is taken ahead. I'm a mother, a proud wife, and a trainer by profession. I am trained on POSH and POXO. So these two values which I want to carry and I share with people is about creating safe spaces for children as well as for women.
Lovely. I mean, it's an honor to have you here as my guest because I've interviewed a lot of army officers in the past, but never a women officer, and always have been intrigued to interview one and get the other side of the story as well. Coming to you, Nanta ma'am, what about you?
So,
About yourself.
I have been born and brought up in this organization. My father was an army officer. And I have about 10 years of experience in the corporate sector. And of course, it was this love for the forge that I had, being brought up in the same environment, that I always wanted to marry also an army officer. And my search stopped as soon as it began because I ended up marrying my neighbor. And, so yes, and like I said, I have lived this army life. I have been here. And at the same time, being in the corporate sector, one has had a very 360-degree view of how the world functions. And then finally, I jumped into education sector once I got married to my husband. And after that, I have been there only. And right now, I've done a stint as a principal. And then, of course, I have done as a trainer, as an IELTS trainer. And I teach business communication classes online.
Very nice. Ma'am, over to you. 10 years you served in the army.
Yes.
How did you come about joining one?
A very emotional aspect to it, and I go back to my childhood days. We are 3 siblings, and my younger brother is a special child. He has cerebral palsy with speech and hearing defect. And I belong to Punjab, the state which speaks of a strong emotion of joining the armed forces, and especially army. So I was about 11 years old, and I heard my parents' conversation. I overheard my parents' conversation, and I could hear my father share it with my mother. And he said it in Punjabi, that Sada munda fauj ch nahi ja sakta, Raj. Now Raj is my mother, that our son cannot join the army. That was the first time it struck me to know about this organization, though my father is a soldier as well. Till that time, I was in that childhood where I was just happy in the space where I was. And that was the first time I actually literally heard and thought, why is it that my father is speaking and thinking of it so strongly? And as a child, you carry that energy. Kaun sa kaam hai jo main nahi kar sakti? And you see that day to this day, the transformation has been magnanimous. They supported me. Now I'll tell you another aspect to it. तो अपनी खामियां और अपनी खूबियां पता होनी चाहिए. खामियां ये थी कि पढ़ाई में इतने तेज तरार नहीं थे, एवरेज थे, ordinary person. So I was working in Pune for 5 years. And there I realized that रिश्ता ढूंढने शुरू हो चुके हैं. And like a good officer, I could do the analysis of what I can do and what I cannot do. So I said, I must try to join the forces. And luck could have it, after preparations, I was selected in the first go, and here I am.
Wow. Getting through in SSB in first go is a blessing.
Absolutely.
It's a blessing. There are stories where people go, वो 17 बार SSB देते हैं लोग, और उनको लास्ट लाते SSB की भूल है ये, और फिर प्रोसेस ज्वाइन करते हैं. But lovely. What was your training be like? Did you see any difference? Getting into the OTA in Chennai. What was the training be like?
Training first broke us because we were, हम वो घड़े थे कच्ची चिकनी मिट्टी के who were coming from all walks of life. So in the training, we were first broken and then remolded. And when we were remolded, it was like, phoenix rising from their ashes and we were something different. And especially to me, I enjoyed that period because while I was working in Pune, I was in a very comfortable zone, which apparently if army wouldn't have happened, I would not have dared to jump out of that comfort zone. Secondly, there was discipline in the life. However, that aspect of motivation versus discipline, that, it was just a spark maybe earlier, but it transitioned into a fire, which actually drives every and any armed forces soldier. So that is what the army tells you. It also teaches you that your team is important. It also teaches you that you are never going to be left behind alone. The drastic differences in the families, like I am from Gurdaspur, a place which is a border town. When I was working in Pune, it used to be always worrisome for my mother. घर पहुंच गई क्या? गाड़ी में safely बैठी क्या? आपका okay, where are you staying? Is it a PG accommodation? How many people are around? The moment I got commission, she said, अब मुझे तेरी चिंता नहीं है. So that's the kind of safe space which this organization provides.
Beautiful. What about the Ragdas?
All right, since I've been a homemaker also for a long time, so when you, जब हम रोटी बेलते हैं, तो especially in the North Indian culture, उसको we do this. So अगर रगड़ा नहीं हुआ और झगड़ा नहीं हुआ, तो फिर when the right hour comes, one will not be know how to act. So in English, we say that the more you sweat in peace, the lesser you bleed in war. And that ragda makes the bonds. That ragda gives you the people whom you can call upon any time and say, sir, oh ma'am, this is not working. Yahan fas gayi. Or to give you that push in life where you are in self-doubt. क्या मैं ये कर सकती हूँ? क्या मैं ये नहीं कर सकती? Now an officer has the ability to take the decision, but that senior up there who has been through, done that with you along, will make that journey beautiful. Destinations are always achieved or not achieved. And more so, they will give you a point of view that if you have to fail, fail forward. That's the beauty of the bonhomie and the camaraderie and the brotherhood we carry.
What was the difference that you felt? I'm sure, I mean, if you look at it from a third lens, but what difference did you actually feel? Was there a moment in your life while being in training, very subtly you said कि भैया रगड़े में हमारे को सख्त बना दिया है, लेकिन मुश्किल वो कमांडो सब सिचुएशन हो गई है, ठीक है, बट एक मोमेंट आता है जब आप ट्रेनिंग के उस दौर पे चले जाते हो जहाँ लगता है यार मैं पुणे में अच्छी थी, है ना, मैं क्यों ही आई आ गई यहाँ पर, बाल काट दिए मेरे, सारे सेम नजर आ रहे हैं, मतलब there's a mixed feeling which comes. We are human, we have emotions, no matter how strong we show ourselves, deep inside, subconsciously we have that. So did you had any kind of a thought बीच में यार आज नहीं?
So firstly, I'll tell you the armed forces will not kill your fears. They will give you a way to deal with your fears. Right? And secondly, if you ask me, it used to be not the training but the patti parade, which used to happen at times, which actually taught me that what I am supposed to do if something is happening in lesser amount of time, where reaction time is less. So you just constantly keep on changing your gear and reporting back as a team. So there is a constant reminder that मैं तो तैयार हूँ. Where is my brother in arms? Where is my sister in arms? And that is what our society needs today as well. As a society, we are very progressive. We are really doing a lot. We are growing economically. However, till the time we are doing everything together, it is a job done well. It's not one person's win. It's the team which wins.
Okay. So what about you, ma'am? Did you ever thought of joining the army?
You see, Ankur, the thing is that I had already lived this life as a Fauji daughter. And I wanted to see how the world is also outside in the civil area. And in my household, it was always told that you can achieve everything that you ever dream of. And that is why I went straight away into the corporate sector. And I think what I found in the corporate sector was a lot of love for the armed forces. You saw a lot of support within the civilian, where they had lots and lots of love and respect for the armed forces. And that coming from an armed forces family was a very big motivating factor. You felt that the job that you're doing is not in haste. So that was a very great perspective that I got. While you're in the army, you already have the respect. You know how certain things function. You know what are the dangers involved or what are the different areas involved into it. Looking at it from a very civilian point of view, you realize as to how they also feel. And that was a very great perspective that at least I got. And it was this love for the army that I finally decided also that I always wanted to marry an army officer so that I could see life as a spouse as well. So what you see as a child is also still shielded because you have your parents shielding you. But as a spouse, you are the one who becomes that shield for your children, for your family, become that support system for your husband so that he can sit in the field area at the borders, do his job because he knows back home everything is being taken care of. So that was a very big, important fact for me.
Because that reminds me when you say that, coming with an experience, having an experience in corporate, that reminds me when you get married to an officer. So I'm now extremely interested because you coming from a Fauji family and married to an army officer.
Yes.
You've been an army officer, married to an army officer, right? I think I have like a mixed cocktail over here where I can actually talk about very specific with you guys, right? So, Nandita ma'am, tell me this. You've already seen a life.
Yes.
And now you're married to one.
Yes.
What was that massive difference that you find after becoming a spouse?
So like I said earlier, we were shielded. You saw your parents shield you from a lot of things, like every parent actually shields. I wouldn't say it is only to the army or to the navy or the air force. I think every parent at every strata of life wants to shield their child, from anything what is going on because they want them to live the perfect childhood. Well, that is what our parents also did the same to us. But being in the army, I realized that other side that my mother lived as a spouse. I realized that what she did, what we took for granted, was something that now I had to do. And it is no different than what a lady in the civil background would be doing. Let me be very frank. I won't say that in the army women are very empowered, whereas in the civil it isn't the case. I don't say that. I think in the Indian society itself, we as women are very, very empowered. And that is the beauty about the Indian society. But the only difference is that here, single-handedly, a woman not only changes station, but she also looks after that husband who is who's sitting at the border and ensuring even his welfare is taken care of. Because back home, everything is taken care of. She is ensuring that, children are being looked after. She's ensuring that her dreams are being fulfilled. You'll find in the army, Rupam is the perfect example where, you have somebody who was an army officer following her, her passion, doing well career-wise. You'll find in the army enough people who are following their passion, doing fabulously well as far as career is concerned. And at the same time, giving back to the organization as well, because army itself is a very big family. Yes. Your family is not related to only you, your husband and your 2 children. Your family is related to even your neighbors, to the men that your husband is with at the thing, their families. They all become a part of the family. So what you have is a very extended family. Your job is not only to take care of the 4 people in your house, but to ensure that everybody there, that man who's standing up at the border, even his family is taken very well care of, so that even he can do his job very well. And that is actually the very big difference of being an army daughter to being an army wife.
Wow. So it was lovely what you said so far. You actually answered a lot of my follow-up questions around that. With that in mind, I have a lot to ask you, ma'am, because in her case, in Nanda's ma'am case, she's holding the fort while the man is out there in the high altitude areas taking care of the entire nation. And you are making sure that the house is, is in order and everything is going well, and all around you things are fine. In your case, ma'am, both of you were serving. How did you guys manage? And before we go there, I would really like to know each of you. आप मिले कैसे? How did you meet? You mentioned neighbor थे, ठीक है. आप कैसे मिले थे with your husband?
So we met in Jhelum Express back in year 2002.
क्या
He
बात
was
कर
a
रहे हो?
cadet in NDA and I was working in Pune. So Jhelum, which runs from Jammu to Pune, that is where we met.
Wow, this is like दिल वाले दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे
Absolutely.
situation.
Way
It's
before
just
जब
that
we met,
सिमरन already
actually.
ट्रेन में थी, भाग कर नहीं आई है बस. और वो भी पंजाब से थी.
And you will find a lot of very amazing love stories in the army, which actually can capture lovely movies.
आपने सोच लिया था कि आप तब तक आप फौज ज्वाइन करने वाले हैं, या फिर मिलने के बाद जो थॉट आपने बताया था, आपके पिता ने बोला था, उसके बाद मतलब कहाँ पर ये आया कि when you met him, did you guys, what I'm trying to say, did you actually discuss कि यार मैं भी फौज ज्वाइन करने वाली हूँ? बात कैसे शुरू हुई थी वैसे?
So see, I was in a middle berth looking for a comfortable seat. And there was this fine gentleman who said, ma'am, why don't you come on my seat? And that's how it started. However, as I mentioned earlier, and since he was already an NDA cadet, 6-termer, squadron cadet captain, so later on, as we, developed in or evolved in our relation, I mentioned to him that I have interest to join the army. So like a good senior, he looked after me. He ensured that I get all the current affair magazines at my doorstep, irrespective of wherever he is. And that Nokia grey phone, which used to be idea calling, was very expensive. The incomings were charged as well. But either he saw the right investment in me or I took the bait. So he prepared me to face the service selection board successfully, and till date, I give the credit to him.
Wow,
So
great.
in both the aspects, he was a tick. One, looking after a fellow officer later and actually being the backbone to support her to pursue what she wants to be. And second, being the right groom. How could my parents say no to him, you tell me now?
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure, I mean, there are a lot of reasons behind it. They can say no for a lot of reasons. It's not like, नहीं यार, हम भी फौज से हैं, ये भी फौज में, ये भी फौज में चले गई, चलो सब शादी कर लेते हैं. नहीं. I'm pretty sure he was never grilled by your father.
So
How did that happen?
Nandita is already all smiles because she knows what I'm going to say here.
Yeah, I can totally see that. She's like, okay.
So it didn't happen that smooth. Like we induct in phases. So similar was our situation. So he got posting to Congo, and there he actually realized, because I was very clear that any man who has the courage to meet my parents and ask for कि मैं आपकी बेटी का हाथ मांगना चाहता हूँ, I will marry that person. So while in India, it did not happen. He took a flight from Congo, flew all the way, yes, and stayed in someone else's house, who was my friend, and then met my father.
Oh,
And
lovely.
my father just asked him one thing, तू झेल लेगा? And till date, he teases me कि पापा हम तो मिले ही झेलम एक्सप्रेस में हैं, तो हम झेलने के लिए ही बने एक दूसरे को. And he was being very strategically correct as well. So often when, like any other happily married couple, we have our disagreements and arguments, हम किसी को नहीं बोल सकते कि आपकी वजह से, जो है हमारी वजह से. So life has been good, and I'm honored to be his better half.
Lovely.
Wherein he is the best person till date who could have come to my life.
चलो ये podcast के through you have the proof now
Absolutely.
that
Yes.
you actually did not like, you're appreciating him behind him back.
He
and now
has the proof.
it is the proof
Yes.
now. What about you, ma'am? Like neighbor.
Yes, we were neighbors.
ये तो classic है.
Yes, it was the Tere Ghar Ke Samne. She had the DDLJ, I had the Tere Ghar Ke Samne. So, my husband himself is a Fauji's son. And actually, my love story is first I fell in love with my mother-in-law. And then I fell in love with my husband.
Oh, okay. Quite a
So
strategic
this
move.
was a little different. So basically, my father was posted in the UN, and he was the force commander there. And I was in college at that time, and my mother would join him. And my mother-in-law, that time my favorite auntie, was my local guardian. I was left under her strict guidance that, you please take care of my daughter. So, coming back to again, one of the best things about the Indian Army is that if in case you're leaving someplace, you will always look for some family to come down. Whereas in the Forge, your family is right next to you. We are not bound by blood. So we are not bound by blood. It's just that love, that faith that you have for each other. And so that is why my local guardian was my would-be mother-in-law, at that time my favorite auntie. And she used to take care of me. And so that was the time that, so she and I would have dinners together, sometimes go out for a movie here and there. And she fell in love with me first. So let me put it this way. When my husband, when he came on leaves, whenever he would come on leave, we would just, look at each other, never dated per se, but I think somewhere he would know, okay, I like her. And I would say, dashing man in a combat dress. Why would I? So you feel as if, it's like when Shah Rukh Khan is walking from Jab Tak Hai Jaan, so that is how he would look. And that is how we ended up meeting. We met very often. And when it came to getting married, I felt that the first hurdle that you have is the mother-in-law. But in my case, I had a mother-in-law who was already my mother. So both of that was the best thing.
Reverse engineering.
Reverse engineering.
सास पटा के लड़के को संभाल लेंगे.
So लड़के को संभालेंगे. And but having said that, it was, I think we both have been very lucky. And I think when we were writing this book, our biggest strength were our husbands. They were our biggest supporters. They were our biggest, they were our biggest critique, without a doubt. But they were our biggest strength as well. They were our biggest supporters when it came to writing this book. And that is what the beauty is. At least in the army, you have your spouses. They are all out there to support your decisions, to support you, to support what you want to do in life, to support your ambitions. And that is what the beauty about it is.
Well, amazing, because it is very much, people should be supporting each other when it comes to a partnership. Like I personally believe that if two people are together, they should be considered as one unit.
Yes, absolutely.
Not like two different individuals. They are, as a human, you're two different individuals, but when you married to each other, you have to become one.
Exactly.
Ought to become one. You mentioned about the book.
Yes.
I have something to ask, but before I go on to your book, there are a lot of myths, because before I was to interview you guys and have a conversation, I told a few of my friends that, I'm going to go to X place and I'm going to interview two army ladies. They're married to officers. There's a background. So what do you think kind of question I should be asking them? Just tell me around that. They came up with 100-odd questions. And this is not something which I can ask any lady around that. Achha, theek hai. So there's one question everybody had in their mind. And I'm pretty sure you have friends in civils. And
Yes.
Right? They come over to your house and they look some side of your life as well. Right?
Yeah.
They get an idea. So what is the one myth you think people should actually understand from your perspective, because you're living it?
Do you want me?
Yeah, why don't you take...
Okay. If I can be a little humorous here. So all my friends feel that I'm very rich. And that feeling is amazing. Yes, it is only when they have some of your friends who you rightfully allow you to trespass your privacy, the bonds of your lives. They know कि flight ये भी economy की देखते हैं, कि hotel में ये भी पूछते हैं कि yes, does it include complimentary buffet breakfast? और वो when you enter with your children in any hotel room or anywhere you go, you see that whatever eatables are kept, are they really free or are they part of the package? So yes, we are very rich. I would say culturally, we are very rich with respect to the bonds we have, but we are at par between middle class and slightly
Higher middle class.
with respect to the ranks. And I think I'll surrender my answer here because करते हम भी वही है जो Indian society कर रही है, right? और हम भी discount मांगते हैं हर जगह.
Yes,
सारी
I was about to say that.
And I will ask Nandita if I've really liked it. Yeah, I'm calling that person. Can you tell him for some discount for me? So that's about it. I think now Nandita would share something.
Rupam has actually put it in the very correct manner. Another myth that everybody has is that इनके पास तो सामान बहुत ही मतलब high class होता है. What they don't realize is we go to the most cornerest of the markets, lanes and everything. And so I think myths about the Indian Armed Forces in the technological age are a little less. It is a good thing also. You have people who, we have the opportunity. You'll see so many ladies have made Instagram channels and this thing where they have that opportunity to share as to and express themselves. Very important what Rupam was just saying, that it's very important to express themselves. So as such, I feel that the myths out there are much lesser than what it would have been at a time maybe 15 to 20 years back when communication was difficult. But in this communication age, you have myths which are busted. But of course, hai, and we are as normal as every other person, you see, and and we live life to the king size. एक myth जरूर, myth तो क्या है, but I would say एक चीज बहुत है, हम लोगों का जो bond है एक दूसरे के साथ, sisterhood, brotherhood, every kind of hood you could say, it exists. अगर मेरे घर में कुछ problem आती है, my first phone call doesn't go to my brother or it doesn't go to my father or mother, it goes to my friends. And that friend is always there. And Rupam has been with me through one of the very toughest time we just faced in our life when we had a death in the family. My first call was only to her. And that is what you say. That is a very important aspect. And that, I think, is the bonds that we build.
Shows both of you ended up writing together a book.
Yeah. And एक अच्छी दोस्त होनी चाहिए साथ में, तो even better.
पुश करते रहे हमेशा कि चलो.
हाँ, नहीं अच्छा खाना भी खिलाती है.
अरे.
हमारी during discussions on the book used to turn out to be nice coffee dates between the two of us. So yes, but I enjoyed writing every moment of the book. I reminisced my childhood. I reminisced everything about from the time I got married to the time I had my children. And it was just amazing time. It was fabulous, I think. I think that was my feeling. Fabulous.
What about you, ma'am?
So the journey has been very enriching because as we were having the childlike enthusiasm to read each other's, what are you writing? Show me. What am I writing? Show me. Though they are two stories of two girls coming from different walks of life, it also reflects upon the similarities with respect to opportunities, challenges, and to me, it was a little exhausting also because I'm working full time. Yeah. Yet, Nandita made it easier for me. One aspect which is going to stay with me for a lifetime is never regret your decisions after writing this book. Yes, because we are more evolved now, we are more learned. When we look back at those pages, we feel that at this particular situation, our response could have been slightly different. However it worked, there is all the solutions, whatever we faced together, and we could find a workable solution. So the saying which we keep saying that nothing is impossible, kind of scratched me that yes, it is doable. Second thought, which is going to stay with me for a lifetime, is, and now Nandita, allow me, because I lived the military journey from a different perspective. We go 40 plus years back, and a Jawan in the Indian Army. My father is a services level volleyball player. He still has a record of short hurdle, still court level under his name.
Wow.
When he was away on duty and my brother had to be taken care of, there were people who, irrespective of where they came from, looked after my mother. Second aspect is the transformation which a family is able to give to their children is outstanding. And it is at par with any society. So why I want to draw this, I will not call it comparison, but this analysis, the analogy is same. Everybody wants to evolve, go a step higher. Every family in every Indian household still feels that when we leave, our children are already settled.
Yes.
It becomes a shade easier in armed forces organizations because there are right people to guide you at every stage of your child's life. There are right people to ask you also, why you're not looking after your child? Go, take some leave. This is class 10th boards or class 12th boards, please go. There are extensions which are given for the married accommodation quarters for anyone to stay back, especially with regards to education. And any special need which one requires is taken care of. So when we wrote the book and both of us were reading for each other, there were subtle moments which were very emotionally overwhelming. Where we thought that all the things happened right at the right time, irrespective of the challenges, were because this elite organization always had our back. I'm getting goosebumps as I say that. And I think I'll not say a word extra. I'll just leave the feeling here.
Lovely, beautiful. This book is out?
Yes, it is. It is available on Amazon, and just need to type in Two Girls and an Olive Twist.
Lovely. So I would take both your permission and would probably want to talk about one or two odd chapters with you on this. So do I have your permission for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. So ma'am, like I mentioned, काफी अतरंगी है chapters के नाम and very beautifully you guys have also written it. I've read a few chapters. जो मैंने नहीं पढ़े हैं वो मैं जानना चाहता हूँ. दही की कहानी क्या है? मतलब क्या क्या सोच के ये, मतलब इसमें क्या हुआ है? मतलब मेरे बहुत थॉट्स आ गए सोच ये चैप्टर का नाम पढ़कर.
So you see, battle only is not at the LC or at the borders. घर पे भी एक battle चलती है, which is दही कैसे जमेगी, कितनी consistency होनी चाहिए, कितना जामुन डालना चाहिए, and more than anything, कहाँ पे जमेगी. And when you're a newlywed bride, na, these are questions which are, more important than world peace also. Because at that time, your home is your world, that peace is very important. And उस time पे tussle चल रहा होता है, who has the hold over the house, whether you or whether the other person. So dahi की कहानी is actually over that tussle over who has the greater hold. And जैसे, like I said, that we are in that information and technological age. And हमें लगता है कि machines ही सारा काम कर लेगी. दही की कहानी basically proved that technology doesn't always come to your rescue.
Don't tell me आपने दही की मशीन लेकर आ गए थे.
So technology doesn't always come to your rescue, and finally पुराने जो हमारे नुस्खे होते हैं हमारी मम्मा के कि कैसरोल में डाल के दही जमा लो, I think वो ही finally काम करता है. तो दही की कहानी is actually more than anything else, it is about the tussle as to who has the greater hold over the house.
मैं आई थिंक जब फ्लाइट लेके वापस जा रहा हूँ ये मैं जरूर पढ़ना चाहूँगा कि कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजी यूज की गई है दही जमाने के लिए, जो एक्चुअली बहुत अच्छे से फेल हुई है.
बहुत अच्छे से फेल हुई है. And I realized I really want to know the person who manufactured that also कि ये क्यों बनाया, ये तो मतलब total wastage machine थी. But the reason behind it is कि why was it, who is the person who finally has the say in the house. And that is what the story is all about. I think if I divulge too much, the readers.
Maybe a statement by the other person.
कि वही है कि finally the old thing only works. मैं दस्यासी ये दही नहीं जमनी.
मैम मैं दही की स्टोरी तो मैं जरूर पढ़ूंगा फ्लाइट में जाते हुए.
You must.
बट रूपम मैम आपने एक
जी.
चैप्टर लिखा हुआ है
जी.
विच इज लड़ गया पापी बिछुआ.
Yes.
काफी सारे चैप्टर ना सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी है इसके अंदर. ठीक है, एक पिस्टल का किस्सा भी है जो कि मुझे पता नहीं कौन सा किस्सा होगा, बट लुक्स साउंड्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टू मी. बट मैम ये बिछुआ की स्टोरी क्या है?
So the name of the chapter is actually dedication to the song Daya Re Daya Lad Gaya Papi Bichhua. And it actually happened with yours truly. We were in Jaisalmer and one fine day, one scorpion decided to bite me on my right toe. And it died. So my son was with me, and as one or two people came to include my husband to help me out, because he shouted, Papa, Mama ko scorpion ne kaat liya hai. And I was also at that time traumatized. What is going to happen next?
Yeah, I mean, it is
Yes.
scary. Looking at scorpion is scary. Getting bit by a scorpion is...
So I was in severe pain. However, two parts of my life, one being the soldier and other, बच्चे के सामने कमजोर नहीं पड़ सकती. So I was bearing that pain, and the pain was resonating from my right toe to the leg up. But I was also trying to look at the scorpion. It did not move. By the time people came and my husband came and they tried to use a stick to move it, my husband declared it dead. Then he said कि अब MH किसको ले जाएं? ये तो मर गया, तुम ठीक हो. Still, since it is a venomous insect, I was rushed to the hospital where the medical officer who attended me, he checked all my vital stats, and he also had a little smirk on his face, and he said, "आपके तो vitals भी नहीं मिले." So more than that, what happened after that, I'll want all of you to read the book. As Nandita said, it's available on Amazon. And from that day, Daya Re Daya Lad Gaya Papi Bichhua became the mantra of my life. And what happened to my life after that, please buy a personal copy and go through the book. And Ankur, if you'll allow me, I would like to share my views, Nandita, about one more chapter which is very close to my heart. Because I said that building safe spaces for children and women is what is my passion, as well as I'm very compassionately driven for the cause as well. So we were in Akroor, and from 2018 to 2020 roughly, 3 major events happened. Now, not in the right sequence of events, but if I tell you freely, it is the Balakot strike happened, COVID happened, and the abrogation of Article 370 happened.
Yes.
All the children who were around, they took a learning for their lives, learning on survival, because COVID was a global issue.
Yeah.
Children play very closely with each other. Their joy is between them. As adults, we face that challenge, you know. We saw that we were now distant from each other. So did the children. The schools were closed. Online coaching or schooling was on. Similarly, when the second event happened, the Balakot strike, they saw that most of them who are kindergartners at that time, for them, they saw the action for the first time. They ended up asking questions. For example, my son, at that time in class 1, he said that, Mama, any aircraft which used to pass by, he used to say, Mama, is it ours or is it not? And I used to tell him that, Beta, even if it's not ours, ours will take care of it, don't worry. So you see, the children start maturing when they are very young. So maturity comes either by responsibility or by what is happening around you. And their paintings changed, Ankur. From painting flowers to what used to happen around, they started painting planes. They started, painting people, a human with a mask on. And they wanted to know what is Article 370. So that introduction of Indian Constitution, which you all will agree, it is a very heavy topic.
Yes.
For us to discuss on, one has to be really learned. Those children came to know of that constitution at that time with whatever potential to understand they had. And eventually, especially all the army children who were the kids who were around, when they left the station post the due tenure, they are still friends. And they are going to remain friends for life because they have faced the adversities together. So when you face the adversity together, you bond in a different frequency. So that's the reason this chapter is very close to my heart, and I'm sure anyone who reads it, irrespective of being in the forces or not, because there were civilians around, because they had seen that how their fathers or their mothers were providing assistance to the people outside. If somebody is stuck somewhere, somebody needs food, right, Nandita?
Yes,
and we have
absolutely.
all done it in our respective stations. So that is how we evolve as humankind. Yeah, even in this era of ChatGPT and technology, we also ask ChatGPT that we need human touch,
Correct. True that.
right?
Absolutely.
So I'll close it at that.
Well, it has been a lovely conversation with you, ladies, and I'm definitely going to read the book while I'm going back to my home. But before we end our conversation today, would you like to give any message to the viewers, to the people who's going to read the book, and to your sisterhood, fraternity, and all the women's around, to be precise?
I think the only message we would like to give is that nothing is impossible. Once you put your mind to it, everything can be achieved. And it is the only thing that one needs to have is full confidence within themselves and the strive that yes, it can be done, it will be done, and I will do it. And history is a witness to it that jab koi bhi, and I won't say only to women, I would say to all kids, to all everybody who's watching this podcast, that jab koi bhi apni lagan nishtha bana leta hai ki that I have to achieve it, one has done it. So I think the only thing I would say is that please, the only thing from here is that whatever you dream to aspire, I'm sure you would achieve it.
Lovely. It's like Kar Har Maidan Fateh.
Bilkul kar har maidan fateh.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nandita has actually said that why we must pursue our dreams, why we must pursue our aspiration. What I want to say is how one must do it. The days, one cannot become a watch or a clock, become a compass. Take out time from however tight your schedule is and devote it towards your own aim or your own goal. Second, consistency beats discipline. Show up daily, do it daily. Remove that fear of failure, remove that fear of unknown, and that's how this book has come out. And only then we can evolve as humans, we can evolve as a nation. Only then that Viksit Bharat can actually come up. It is everyone's responsibility, irrespective of the age. And there is a small dedication, Ankur, if you want, I'd like to share.
Please, please.
Since we are army wives and the emotion is actually taking over, Nandita and Ankur, it goes, घरों दे कई बदले हमने, घरों दे कई बदले हमने, प्यार हर जगह बांटा और पाया है, कभी दूर रहा वो या कभी दूर रही वो, आज के सिनेरियो में तो फौजी परिवार ने अपनाया है, ख्वाहिशें और सपनों की जद्दोजहद मुझ में भी है, राइट? ख्वाहिशें और सपनों की जद्दोजहद मुझ में भी है, हर हार को जीत बनाने की उम्मीद मुझ में भी है, अपने बक्सों और फोटोओं को सहेजते सहेजते मैं इंतजार करती हूँ, कई बार तो बस चिट्ठियों और फोन पे ही अपने प्यार का इजहार करती हूँ, वापस न आने का डर, and I know we feel strongly about it, वापस न आने का डर जब भी मुझको सताता है, मैं अपने बच्चों को अपने फौजी परिवार के किस्से सुनाती हूँ, उनके दिए हौसले को अपनी हिम्मत बनाती हूँ, पूरी तरह बिखर कर भी, unfortunately when soldiers do not return home, पूरी तरह बिखर कर भी मैं अपने को सिमटा ही लेती हूँ, सैन्य पत्नी हूँ मैं, जिंदगी कैसी भी हो मैं बस जीती ही जाती हूँ, जीती ही जाती हूँ।
ब्यूटिफुल मैम, ब्यूटिफुल,
थैंक यू।
वेरी ब्यूटिफुल। काफ़ी आपने आई थिंक पूरा जो हमने कॉन्वर्सेशन करी है इस पास्ट 1 घंटे में, आपने मात्र 1 मिनट में उसको रिसाइट कर दिया है।
I'm honored.
आपको थोड़ी देर पहले गूज बम्स आए थे, मेरे को अब आ रहे हैं गूज बम्स से सुनकर। आई कैन, मतलब ये एक पास्ट 1 मिनट में मेरे को सब समझ में आ गया है what a woman goes through being an army wife or not being an army wife. This is a life I feel where everybody has a journey and the
Yes,
journey is
absolutely.
almost the same. It's just boats are different,
Yes.
but लहरें तो सेम ही है.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on board with me here for the podcast. It was lovely to have a conversation with you.
Thank you.
And I would definitely urge everyone to read this book and have an understanding about what really goes through inside a house of an army wife, what really goes out in the cantonment area. And I'm pretty sure after reading it, they'll be able to relate.
Yes.
ये तो हमारे साथ भी हुआ है, ये भी सेम है, ये भी सेम है, दही हमारी भी जमी नहीं है, उनकी भी नहीं जमी है।
आप जैसलमेर में दही बना रहे हैं या लेह लद्दाख में?
चैलेंज वही है, मशीन यूज करनी नहीं करनी है, आई थिंक वो सब समझ में आ जाएगा।
Absolutely.
बट थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you for having us
Jai Hind.
over.
Thank you.